Well, I think I'm a bit early, but I'm coming on anyway. And this is something new for me, first time, but it feels now more than ever is the time of jumping in the deep end and doing things for the first time. Yeah. So I think I'm going to start talking, and I have never used live chat before or YouTube live. So like I said, this is the first time for everything, but there is the chat column if you want to send me a message or just say hi. So I know that you're out there, but actually it doesn't really matter because I'm going to talk anyway. And I will save this video and put it on my channel. So this is just another one of those things that I've been guided to do, and my guides, my higher self, whatever you want to call it, have had me diving in the deep end. Hello, Emma Jane. Have had me diving in the deep end for a good number of years now. So I've learned to just trust that when I jump off the cliff into something new, that it will be of benefit to somebody else, and even if it's of benefit to one person. First of all, for those who are joining who haven't actually come across any of my work before, my name is Lisa Jane, and I am a healer and seer of energy. What that means is essentially I work with people, places, environments to adjust the energetic pathways, channels, and matrices to allow their highest potential and the highest frequency, however you want to label that, to come through. So in this particular series, which I've called the Metamorphosis series, I wanted to start to talk about something that I'm feeling quite strongly. And this is what started the urge to talk. And that is that we are in very transformative times. And I'm sure I don't need to tell you that. I think everyone's feeling it, and there probably isn't a single person on the planet who is not affected by what is happening right now. Did we actually think we were going to end up with this? No, not really. My guidance at the beginning of the year, which I shared on YouTube, was symbolically shown to me as an oxygen mask, which is quite ironic in where we find ourselves now. But what the oxygen mask was really showing me in terms of the message was about self-care, self-compassion. And now, of course, it's self-care in the greater scheme of things in terms of holding your physical health and then looking after others by not being in contact. So the urge to speak. The matrices or matrix on which our planet has been created and has been working for the last hundreds of thousands of years is falling apart. What do I actually mean by that? Well, if we look at what the movie The Matrix showed us, it is in a way how we are living out our lives, is that everything is energy first. Matter comes second. We're going to be learning a new language, and I don't think we even know where to start yet. I mean, certainly I'm receiving guidance, but I think we have no idea. Hello, Simone. Thanks for joining. We have no idea where we will be going. And so it's a very complex situation that we're trying to unravel, and each in our own ways try to live it out in the best way possible. So what do I mean by the matrix is unraveling? Our society has been governed and supported by matrices that have led to the segregation of us humans. So the matrix of ego, the matrix of separation, the matrix of greed, and these are really just energy systems that have been built by humans as we've lived on the planet and have been kind of made more extensive by our actions, by our thoughts, by our behavior. As these old, more lower frequency negative matrices collapse, newer ones are being asked to be put into their place. And what do I mean by newer ones? Ones that are based on unity, on respect, on compassion. So the message I got that came in quite strongly from our guidance, and what led me to start this series, to start talking and engaging with people, because everyone's going to actually find a way to deal with this in their own unique way, is that each one of us, in our thoughts, in our actions, in our behaviors, is part of creating the new energetic framework of the earth. That's quite something, right? That's quite powerful, because what it means is that each and every one of us has to take responsibility for ourselves, for our thoughts, and for our behavior. So if we start looking at that, us as energetic beings, the most important energy center that we are being asked to work with at the moment is our heart energy center. Now, I know this purely by the fact that one of my most popular videos of late has been, "Why am I crying for no reason?" It's just kind of gone off the scales. So a lot of people are finding a huge opening and expansion in their heart energy center by really becoming more emotional, by looking at their emotional wounds, by struggling, because there's a lot of people struggling with what's happening. And I think Mark Nemo, in the movie The Power of the Heart, actually stated that the heart energy grows stronger when it is struck. And this isn't an easy thing to take into our lives, but it's true, is that the heart energy center is built by friction, by suffering, by something that really jolts us out of our normal lives, our normality. And let's face it, normal is really not going to be the same anymore with the shifts that are taking place. We are going to be stepping into a world where the energy is going to be very different. Now, what my sense is and what my guidance is showing is that for the past few weeks and months, there has been a huge dismantling of the old energetic structures. We haven't yet really stepped into the creation of the new. That's coming. But what is happening is, as the energy impulses come in from creator source energy, the universe, the galactic forces, whatever you want to name them, is that as they come in, they start shifting each person on an individual level and then people as a collective. What can we do about this? Well, the first thing we need to do is actually look at our own sphere of awareness, because that's what this is, right? It's an awakening. It's an increase in awareness of who you are, of what you have in your life that is uplifting or draining. And that really is just looking at yourself energetically, because the heart center, as an energetic field, is the place in which your highest vibration, your soul essence, whatever you want to call it, is connected. And the heart center as an energy field is that which connects us to all others. And whilst there has been work done and labeling and lots of documentation and books and everything about the other chakras, for me, the most important one at the moment is the heart chakra, because that's the one that is being rubbed up, that's the one that is being expanded, and that's the one that we need to start connecting with others. So the heart energy, how do we work with that? We can work with it in a number of different ways. We can work with it with breathing tools. We can work with it with meditation. We can work with it in doing anything that makes us feel alive, because this is our battery pack. And if we have felt dead, if we have felt dead in a relationship, in a job, in a situation where there has been nothing that actually really keeps us motivated, then you're going to have to move from that, because that is not feeding this energy center. So the more you shift towards listening to that voice that says, I need to let go of this. And yes, it's scary, right? We don't know how to let go of it. We kind of have built our world around all of the material things and that external. But if we start looking at those things that feel unnatural, right? Because that's what I posted on my Facebook that day, is that what we are doing, we are moving towards our natural state. And what is our natural state? Our natural state is spirit, is energy, is vibration. That's all we are. And I don't even think we've begun to get close to understanding what that actually means. There is one energetic area that is really becoming known to many people at this point in time, and perhaps even those people who haven't been connected before, is the dream state, right? How many people are saying that they're dreaming of others? How many people are saying that they're dreaming of people, friends, close relatives, and maybe the very next day you might be connected by those people? How many people are using that knowledge to kind of connect? And for me, it's interesting. I think the powers of telepathy are now just going to explode, right? Because telepathy, the ability to connect energetically in the higher mind to someone else, is a natural state of being human. If we look at the broader definition of human, a human is not just the physical body. That's just our aspect. That's our manifested aspect. But the real human is that creative source energy that is connected to the planet and its energy, and then is just exuded or expressed through this physical body. So one thing I feel quite strongly about, and which I'm going to share with you today, because my guidance has been loud and clear on this too, is that we have only been using a very small part of our frequency of the mind. Most of us live in the frequency of the mind that is about chattering, that is about to-do lists, that is about turning around stories in our head. And there are a multitude of levels in our mind consciousness that we need to start to become aware of. So for instance, the biggest challenge that most people give me is that I don't know how to meditate because I can't shut my mind off. And the first thing I say to them is, it's not about shutting off your mind. There are amazing gurus out there who have written millions of books, all due respect to them. But they've made us believe that quietening the mind and shutting it off is a key to stillness. And absolutely sitting in silence, sitting in solitude, and really contemplating your energy field and your thoughts, is the first step to becoming a more aware and a more energetically in tune human. But we have forgotten skills, like the power of the imagination. Spirit is not going to come down and land in front of you and say, look, I'm Archangel Gabriel, here I am. You are going to receive information through your energetic channel by way of your higher mind consciousness and your higher self. And that part of your mind, which is connected to all other minds on the planet in our group field of consciousness, and which is connected to the greater God mind, universal mind, however you want to call it, uses things like symbols, like impulses, like intuitive thoughts to connect you to that aspect. And how did that get shut down? Well, when you were a child, you were told to stop daydreaming, right? How your heart was shut down is like if you said, I needed this, and you're told, no, you don't need it. Well, then your inner truth is shut down. So if you want to start working with yourself in a way that is energetic, in a way that makes use of the incoming energies and the shift in the energetic framework of the planet, is to really start taking note of those things that are happening in your higher mind. Take note of your dreams. Take note of any impulses, any imagination, symbolism you get in your head, any thought that immediately drops in without you having to overanalyze it or have gone over it in your head. Anything that is an instantaneous impulse before your lower mind grabs it and starts questioning it, because we don't want that to happen. Anything that drops into your mind as an impulse, the first step is maybe for you to start acting on that. And it doesn't matter if it just relates to going and getting yourself a cup of tea, or while on your way to going to do something else, you get an idea or inspiration, because normally those mundane aspects of life open you up to incredible inspiration. And you start listening to the little voices. So when you're leaving your house and a little voice says, go back and check that you didn't leave your keys on the table, listen to that. Because that is the higher aspect of yourself. You know, I think the trouble is that many people get caught up in the story, the drama, the labeling. What we really need to do is let go of the stories and the drama in your own life and out there, and all the conspiracy theories and everything else that is going around, and really just commit to becoming more aware of the very simple impulses you start receiving in your daily life. And those will take you step by step to a place where you start looking at the bigger impulses. But we have to be courageous. We have to take responsibility for that aspect of ourselves that needs to change. Be it a bad habit, be it a bad relationship, be it a job that we hate. If you hate your job and you're bored with it, you've got to get out. Because in this energetic framework we're in, nothing fragile will last. Those are my keywords from Spirit. Nothing fragile will last. So anything you are not energetically invested in is going to disappear. And maybe that strikes fear in your heart. I don't mean it to you, but it's true. So together with a commitment for self is also a questioning. What am I invested in? Do I want to be invested in that? Is it for my highest good? And if it's not, start unraveling and start loosening the grip on that. Because the energy changes are not going to support anything in which you are not 100% invested. And this urge I had to talk, and I can feel that pressure coming now, is about you really understanding that every moment of every day you are creating the new earth. And you would have heard that word, the new earth, the new human, the new matrix. And there's all kinds of stories out there and all kinds of fancy words that are being used to describe it. And that's great. And those stories are interesting. However, there is one simple truth. It is up to you. And it's up to each and individual person to work on their stuff, to ask where they are invested, where they shouldn't be. To begin listen to those thoughts that drop in, the symbols that drop in, the feeling you get energetically when you're doing something you don't enjoy, it's going to be constricted. As opposed to the feeling you get when you're doing something that is joyful and creates happiness within you. Each person on the planet at this point in time is part of the creation of the new hologram. Because that's what I've also been told, is that when I talk energetic matrices breaking down, the hologram on which our whole world is based is changing. And those of you that know a bit about quantum physics will know you take the picture of the apple and then you create the hologram, right? Well, we are creating the picture that's going to be taken to create that new hologram. And we, each of us, are individual pixels on that photo. So if you want a life that is happy, peaceful, connected, then it's up to you to start building that. And what I also want to share, which is very, very, very critical, is that it is no longer a narcissist or selfish type of spirituality where we're each chasing our own self-growth so that we become enlightened or awakened. And what do those words actually mean? Right? It is not a narcissistic type of spirituality anymore. It is a spirituality, a way of being that is working on your own vibration for the greater good of all, for the greater good of all around you, because we are each a pixel in this picture that's being created. So we are doing it to be of service. Another thing I want to say, which is quite clear from our guidance, is that every single person on this planet is a healer. whilst it might be my official title and it's the work I do to kind of, bring in income to support my family, I do believe that we're all in this together. There is no higher or lower. There's no guru. I'm sharing because I'm prompted to share. But each one of you that has shown up on the planet Earth at this point in time is a healer. What do I mean by that? I mean that you are here to adjust and change frequencies to enable the highest expression of every individual for the greatest good of all. And that's quite an amazing task, right? So our story, our engagement, the house we live in, the car we drive, the friends we have, that is just the baseline stuff. It's the way we are. It's our expression. It's our beingness that is going to count in the future. And that actually creates this, not the other way around. And I think we've probably got a long way to go to understand how that really works. It is a new language. It's a new way of understanding. And it's a real strong commitment to the awareness that you are a divine, magical being, that you are vibration, a beautiful vibration. And that beautiful vibration is going to create the new earth. Not necessarily in the practical ways you imagine, not necessarily driven by this mind, but allowing your soul, your higher self, to be in charge, for it to take you where you need to go. Because transformation is as much about the intention and the desire as it is about surrendering and listening to your intuition. And it's the balance of that. Ubuntu, exactly, Emma Jane. And that's why I feel, and have felt for a while, that South Africa is rising, because the frequency of that Ubuntu is on what our continent was created when the first humans kind of appeared. We're going back to that. We're going back to a place where we as humans are one community and we're here for each other. And it may seem impossible at this point in time, but it's not. And it's going to happen. And how is it going to happen? By each person becoming more self-aware. And then by each person becoming more aware of how they interact with others. And then understanding that that interaction is what builds the community. So we are actually on a very magical path. And we hold compassion for all of those that are suffering right now. And there are a lot suffering. But we also hold the intention for a move to a new earth, to a new planet, that is based on the fundamental human principles of compassion, connection, and first and foremost, the belief that we are one field of consciousness and that we each create that. So I think that's all I wanted to say to start off this live series. And to finish, is that this live series is not about me, because I can share with you what I feel I need to at this point in time. I can have the urge as to what message I need to get across, which today is you are the creator. And it's very important that you realize that and take responsibility, because it's a powerful, magnificent job. Everyone is involved in that. No one is excluded. No one is more special than the other. So that's the message for today that I hope you've got. But I want to be able to answer your questions. I want to be able to help you, because everyone's individual path is different. This expression means different things for different people. So you can always email me if you didn't want to put your message on the group. I am going to share whatever I'm prompted to share each Sunday, if there's a demand for that. Otherwise, I'll just show up and talk, and I'll keep that anyway. So yeah, it is a big responsibility, but it is also a powerful portal of change. And for me, the turnaround has happened. 4 or 5 weeks ago, I maybe wasn't so sure. But it's clear now that the group effort has managed to shift the vibration to a place where we are moving on the up. And that I truly believe. So that portal of energy, that template for the new earth, the picture we're going to take to create the new hologram is in process. And we need to really work with that and understand that. So I'm here to answer questions. This is a live video because of it is meant to be engaging. Please send me an email. Please drop me a note in whatever way, WhatsApp, Instagram, and anything you would like particular guidance on or want to understand better, I will take to heart and I will meditate on it and I will connect and I'll see what it is that comes through my guidance. There is a lot more I want to share with you, but I just haven't got the right words, because that's also the thing, right? If I'm working with myself energetically, it's the energy I share. So in these sessions, I might, as the human, need to talk to engage you, but it's also about creating a portal through which I can share the energy transmission that is coming through, which is about truth, which is about returning to our natural state, and which is about you as a human understanding that you are a creator, an individual, alchemist, and a magician, and that is your birthright. Let that sink in. All magicians. You want to change the world? Start here. Start with your vibration, the words, the thoughts, because that is your energetic frequency. So with that, I wanted to say thank you for watching. This is something new for me. I didn't necessarily think I'd be on camera as much as I have been lately, but I've been nudged in that direction. So if you want to connect with me, for all of those beautiful mothers out there, I wish you a most magnificent Mother's Day. I was spoiled this morning by my 3 special ones. And I hope you have been treated well and that you remember that you are important in this journey for everybody going forward. And that I hope you find the place where you can become more authentic, where you can find your voice and you can really realize that you are needed at this time and that you are a healer. Oh, thank you, Emma Jane. Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, that was the beginning of one of my major changes, actually, when I became a mother. Phew. To all the mothers out there, you know what I'm talking about. So these things come in life to shift us. Please don't think it's too hard, right? Please don't get the human to engage too much. Sessions, meditations, yes. Emma Jane, I mean the meditation, you will know, the golden circle meditation. Wow, that is so powerful. You know, as humans think, oh, we're just sitting here in front of the computer and we're doing a meditation. No. We are working energetically in an incredibly powerful way. And the trouble with the human, I was going to finish off right now, but now I have to say something else. The trouble with the human is that we think we need to understand everything. We want to understand everything. Oh, thank you, Celeste. Big love to you. We want to understand everything, and we can't. Even me with my whatever you want to call it, I can't understand everything. And I'm beginning to realize it's not about that anyway. It's about being the best possible human I can be. And I'm not perfect. But shifting that vibration first. You know, those very conflicted relationships, codependency, name, blame, shame, victim, that must all go. No longer must a marriage or a relationship be based on, if you give me that, I'll give you this. Or a power struggle. You know, I'm in charge. No, I'm in charge. No, I'm in charge. No. That is part of the old paradigm. It's no longer going to be supported. So examine those relationships to make sure, hello, Vanessa. Examine those relationships to make sure that you're not in one. And if you are in one, ask, where are you disrespecting yourself? Because that is fragile. It's tentative. It is not based on a heart-to-heart connection. You know, we've heard the word unconditional love. Do we really know what it means? I don't think so. And actually, even love, we don't really know what that means either, because love is actually just a way of being, right? It's beautiful to get roses and flowers and hug and do all of those things, but love is the creative force. And we have a long way to go to really understand, well, I see understand, it's not about understanding, to feel the expression of ourselves as vibrational beings. Because transformation is about a way of being, a way of expressing. It's just an expression, it's a frequency. So I could go on talking all night about random things, but I don't think that's going to help you much. But if you can really start to understand that everything about you is energy, you know, and that it's not really the human that is in control of this. And we all like to be in control, myself included. That's why I don't do herbs and drugs and things. Maybe I should. Imagine what I see then. No. So it's about just really feeling that which is you outside of the human condition. So listen to your imagination, access it, work with it, listen to your dreams, engage with them, write them down. When you think of someone, contact them, you know, and don't necessarily seek to be validated in all you do. Just enjoy doing it. So from my home to yours. No, exactly, Celeste. No time construct anyway. It's true. It's like this healing room. It's kind of like this intergalactic time-space warp thing, you know, where no time or space exists. Because when I'm offering a distant healing, well, where am I anyway? I might be sitting here meditating, but I'm connecting with the field of someone in New York or UK. Don't ask me how I do that, because as a human, I don't quite understand. But I know it works. Because my fundamental belief is that we are just one mass of energy. And all I need to do is use my heart center to connect with someone else's. Ilona, hello. So yeah, I hope this has been helpful. I know you've all got things to do. It's a Sunday evening. So what I wanted to say from the bottom of my heart is that I value your time and I value your connection with me. Deeply, deeply grateful. And that whenever I'm sharing with the intention for your highest healing and good, and hoping that in some way it benefits. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't try too hard. Allow it to happen. But really spend this time during lockdown to become more self-aware, to become less self-judgmental. That's no good. And just really connect with yourself in a way that you might not have done before. Okay. So if there's no more questions, I'm going to finish off. I don't even know what the time is. Like I said, Celeste, half an hour. I send you much love. I have a praying mantis in my room, actually, that appeared the other day, and he was sitting on my cushion on my healing table just now. I take that as a great sign from Spirit. So from my praying mantis, spiritual guru, from my time, space, warp, intergalactic center here, I send you much love, and I'd love to hear from you. I welcome comments. So have a blessed, blessed evening and a blessed and magical week ahead. And don't forget that you are all magical, creator, divine beings that can change the world. I'm looking at you and I'm counting on you all. Sending you love too. Thank you, Emma Jane, and love to all of those that have joined and commented. And really, you're amazing. You're all beautiful, beautiful people. Take care. And if you want, we will do it again next Sunday. Bye. Bye. Yeah, I'm just going to end now.